It's Friday.
Whoop, whoop.
Everybody's ready for the weekend. And we're
Everybody's working for the weekend.
all right. So we're hanging out with Shawnee and the awesome April, queen of HR as usual.
Oh my god. Yeah. File that paperwork.
That's
Oh,
right.
Those inappropriate memes.
Oh my goodness, her inappropriateness. She's learning to behave now that we're on Twitch. So
Man, I can't believe I messed up.
It's always
already.
a curve.
all right, so you've also we won't have Bladen tonight because Bladen is actually at Denver Comic Con. Isn't that what it's called?
Lucky bastard.
Yeah.
That's what it's called, right? I think
it's what it's called. That's awesome.
At Fan Expo Denver.
There you go. Fan Expo
Or
Denver.
no, Denver Expo. There we
Denver
go.
Fan Expo.
Renee Roth is also there, and so is Mog Park.
Mog.
So that's pretty dope. So if
he has some cool peeps with him.
Yeah, swing over to the Denver Fan Expo and holler at those amazing folks.
Yeah, show them some love.
Oh, the hold on, April.
Already off the rails. Hey Dustin,
dude, it is not hard
really,
with me to be off the rails.
Yeah, but it's really you this time and not me.
Yes, this time it's my fault because I am all over everywhere today.
Oh my god! And that's because of the man cold, isn't it?
It is
the man flu. The man flu was not helping.
That's it. It gets me.
49 laps around the noodle.
That's it. Man. My poor brain, I swear, has been like all kinds of shooting steam out of my fucking head today.
Today was the last day of our fiscal year for work. So
love that.
Yeah, I am brain mushy. My brain hurts. I'm so glad to be done.
Right. So it's also the end of the If It Hops campaign for issue 3. Very excited about that.
Yes.
And we did well, so that was fun. I am a big fan of Bladen Hunter's artwork and April Reyna's artwork. So for them both to be working on a project together was very exciting to me. I was just very over the moon about that. So super, super fun. And currently we've got My Metal Girl. The team for My Metal Girl has a campaign going on right now. And it's stuff for that is gorgeous. Like it's just gorgeous.
It is going gangbusters.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy.
So happy.
It looks awesome. It's because you get to use the word mangaka.
Man, that is such a fun word, right? Mangaka. Not to be confused with something that's not good. It's good.
Yeah, there's a lot of words that sound similar that you should not be saying.
Yeah. I can't even think of what they are at the moment, but I don't want to even remember.
We're not even going to try and pretend and make a guess because we'll accidentally say them and get ourselves.
Yeah, don't do that. All I can think of is Chupacabra right this second, okay?
I just think that Twitch needs to know who you are.
They know. They do.
They do know.
They know
and this
enough.
is why they say you need to behave yourself because we know who you are.
They know more.
We know where you stream.
That's right. They can find me on any other social media platform and find out enough. Oh my gosh.
We do a lot of what
So speaking of terrible, I dropped my daughter off for her very first sleepover, my 12-year-old daughter with all her buddies, her very first sleepover at a friend's house. Now she's had sleepovers here, but this is the first one out of the house, right? And it's only about 15 minutes down the road. And I walk in the house, and the very first thing that is said to me is, "You do comic books?" And I'm like, "Well, yes, I do."
Well, I thought they were going to flaunt around their CPAP machine.
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Thanks.
Because April thought it sounded good, so.
April thought it sounded good.
Well, it looks like look what I got. That's a national. Never mind. Go ahead.
So they asked if you do comic books.
They asked me if I do comic books. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. You know what I mean? Of course. I polite as usual about it. And can I read them?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to read my books. You know what I mean? That's just, it might not be conducive
appropriate.
for my daughter and your daughter's relationship for you to read my books. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And because I don't want you to think I'm some kind of psychopath, because I already have team members that call me that. So I
It's
don't
like,
really need.
It's like carnival rides. You have to be this high to ride the ride.
Yeah,
And it's
dude.
like you have to be
Yeah.
this old to read the books.
Or you can't be like associated with. You know what I mean? If you're associated with this young person, you can't read ethereal books. It's just not great. But she's like, but yeah. And then you got the other 5 moms, and I'm the only dad that is there dropping their child off. And I've never been there. So of course I'm going to walk in and actually try to introduce myself and get caught in this conversation. And it's just like, oh, well, da 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 da. And then they're, oh, you write comic books? Yeah. Ha. And then it turns into this like round robin circular session of questions. And it's cool, right? It's normally cool because I don't mind answering them. But it was just like nerve wracking.
I know exactly what you mean, because all of a sudden you feel like you're on the PTO board questionnaire kind of thing. And I don't know. It's one thing to be shadow banned in like a social media standpoint. It's a whole nother thing in real life.
Yeah, well, it's because
like when did I walk into a job interview, right? It's
like I'm already supposed to be like, I've already talked at my daughter's school before, and I've done other things, you know what I mean? But when it's not kids asking questions about a career, like seniors that are literally trying to learn from you, when you get caught in like the PTO that's outside of school, they got real boy questions.
Yes, they do.
Hey, look, is there a hoo-ha on your book? Maha.
We're about them sales.
That
is definitely a danger, Will Robinson danger situation.
Yeah. Your spider sense is going off, and you're like, oh, I'm in big trouble. Like,
I need an adult.
Why did Heather come with me? I need an adult. Yeah, no. But no, they're all super nice, but it's very nerve-wracking because you're trying to say all of these things with a straight face and be respectful. And our fans, I can laugh and I can joke and I can play and whatever else. These are not people that know me.
Yeah.
These are
the
Yeah, man. These are the kids that want to stay at our house on the weekend and go swimming in our pool and shit. It is not conducive to a great relationship to go, yes, this is what I do for a living. I bar my office from your children whenever they come visit,
Well, that's just a good survival instinct.
But it's funny. I guess I got prepared for some of this. When Fallen Leaves got here, it's been here for 2 weeks or so now, and when all the books came in, I had them all over my house, like all over my house, because there were so many, and they were, well, Shawnee, they all came in, and they were all, well, the second wave of Fallen Leaves came in about 2 weeks ago. We'll put it that way.
Okay.
So, but
the first wave left something to be desired.
So, Shawnee, I go through all the books now to make sure that they're okay. Every single book that comes in, and it's cool though. It's cool. And I didn't realize when my nephews visit my mom and dad, they normally don't come to my house, right? But I guess they, instead of going outside to like pee in the bushes or anything when they were swimming, they decided to come in the house, with my son, because my son's like, that's cool. You can go pee in the house, And there are elf boobs everywhere in my kitchen because I'm going through each book and stacking them and bagging them and boarding them. And who wants to be a hobbit up in the office all the time? So I do it downstairs sometimes, And I'm like, oh my God. And then I hear my nephew go, Mom, there's boobs all in Uncle Dustin's house. And, da, 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 da. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. And Oz is like, it's normal to him. You know what I mean? He doesn't give a shit.
He's like, what?
Yeah, that's pretty natural around here, my dude. And so then my daughter, you could hear my daughter laughing from in the house, like upstairs, chuckling in the house.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. They're
I
all
love it.
out to sabotage me, little turds. But
children.
oh my goodness. So it's Friday. Now, Friday has become something of a day where we normally talk about new books and what we got going on, what we got coming out, or talking about campaigns that end. You know, that's normally what we do on Friday night. And you notice good buddy Nathan is not here. And while you guys already know where Bladen is at. So Nathan had to work tonight, so we're not going to see him. But April will be working on her awesome cherry card set. Very, very cool. And we'll be talking a little bit about There Be Shadows tonight. Pretty sure Shawnee read the script for There Be Shadows. I'm pretty sure that.
Nope, you did not send it to me.
No. Oh, I fail. I fucking dropped the ball.
You should make it like a possum thing and have a reading.
Oh no, I won't. Thank you.
Oh come on! You could even do a little Creole like voice.
I know you were gonna go there. Look,
well,
you've already got enough stuff in your jar. Just sit over there in your cherry stuff.
I'm sorry. I just want to contribute.
Yeah, I got your contribution. Anyway,
that's what she said.
Anyway,
we're not on Twitch, so she's good.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, we are? Okay, never mind.
Twitch. So, anyway, so There Be Shadows. There Be Shadows is about a young dude named Davy who is happens to be orphaned. His grandfather is the last living relative he has. His grandfather passed away at the very beginning of the book. And you actually start the issue at his grandfather's funeral.
Okay. And
directly from the funeral, they take him to the orphanage. He's all packed and everything, right to the orphanage. He's got nobody to stay with. And especially in, the early 1900s, you were not going to be, sent home to fend for yourself. That's just not how things were done. So they send him off to the orphanage, and it's not quite what he was expecting when he gets there.
Yeah, that's
And
I would be startled.
Right, for sure. It's not exactly green when he gets there, though. That was fun. But no, it's very much a retelling of every old fable that I enjoyed as a kid. Like all of them. Like before Disney fucked them up. Like all kinds of cool stuff. Right. But they're all turned upside down on their head. They're all entirely different than anything you've seen before, which is great because Shawnee, I'm a fan.
You took a piece of this and you looked at it and you went, what if it happens if I do this? And then
absolutely.
Right.
So your first arc has a crucial villain duo or antagonist duo. And I was going to show you guys an image, but I don't think I have one. So I'll show you this one, which is really, really cool, regardless of our version of Tinkerbell. And she's not very nice. She's not a very nice individual. And she happens to run with Pan. And Pan is not a very nice individual in our book. But we love our main character, Davy Hook Jones, and his buddy, Mr. Smee, Jonathan Smee.
All right.
So lots of fun.
You kind of get that hint, if you will, if you're paying attention and looking at the shape of her wings.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do everything different. So I had to do one that was a Tinkerbell that was as different as I could possibly get her. Mm-hmm. And then you've got the sweet nuns that work there at the orphanage. They're all super nice ladies. And then you've got Wendy, though, who is just the nastiest individual. She's not a very nice person. The youngest nun there at the orphanage, and she takes advantage of these poor folks every turn she can get. Instead of doing her chores, she'll get one of the boys to do the chores for her, or she just runs the show when the other ladies aren't paying attention.
She's kind of the evil stepmother trope.
basically, and then it gets very, once you start getting into what Pan is to the story, and so as a kid, okay, a lot of my stories come from personal experience that I mold and weave into our narrations. You know what I mean? So like as a kid, we didn't have to come in till it was dark. Like street lights were all out. It was dark when we came in. And we used to play Manhunt. And I don't know if you guys know what Manhunt is, but
That's
it's
something you got to
basically
do with
like
the government.
tag. It's a lot like tag.
Yep.
But you're doing it in the dark, in the pitch dark, trying to catch people before they can get and you would play in blocks. Like you wouldn't just play like one or two houses, you'd play in blocks this game. And we all grew up together playing it, and it was super fun. And I was like, you know what? We're gonna do something like that in this book. We're gonna make it almost like a tag type of thing. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a little bit different than most of the storytelling we've done. I think that the way that the Tinkerbells or the fairies are created is very, very terrifying. And it actually set my hair on end like twice while I was working on it. Like I was like, I'm not writing that, but it's so good. It's got to go in the book. Like I can't get away from it.
It's pretty bad when the writer who is actually in the process of creating it goes, yeah,
it takes a lot for me, and I was pretty put off by it for a minute, and I was like, whatever, you got to go with your gut, and our fans have certain expectations from us, and I always want to meet those demands and exceed them, so I sat down and I went through it, and it was just like, man, oh man. But at the same time, it's a bittersweet thing, because you're excited that someone's getting their comeuppance, but you're also going, oh my God, that's awful. You know what I mean? It's a very, very interesting thing. Man, look, the other day I was literally writing something about somebody peeling their own flesh off, Shawnee. It's been a couple weeks of me treading down the darkest corners of my psyche that I could get for storytelling.
So business as usual for Dustin.
It is pretty usual for me. It's just I am trying to surpass my own limitations, if you will, to give you guys the best stories I can possibly give you. And if I'm scared to do them, that means they're that much better than they would have been. April and I have had that conversation numerous times. I can't be afraid to give you exactly what I want to give you. You know what I mean? Like I can't change what I'm doing because of nerves or a fear to do it. That's the way the stories were intended to be told, and that's the way I need to give them to you. And I can't wait. I'm excited. Like I'm overly excited about everything going down right now. We've not only do we have, oh my gosh, this series coming out, we've also got Cretaceous. The teams are working on Cretaceous right now. And that book, that's a wild one too. April has said it numerous times, and I always lean back on her and things that Bladen say, because I don't often compliment myself. So I tend to pay attention to what they say more than anything else. And April has often said that every project we do, we get better. Like everything we put out, we're better. And I attribute that to how amazing the two of them are more than anything else, to be honest with you. And as we grow, I just want to be able to continue to grow and tell better stories as we do. So I think you guys are in for a real treat with the projects coming out. Man, I don't know. It's cool stuff. Let me see if I can snag one of these covers for you. I got to show you one that won't get me in trouble, and possibly one you've seen before. But yeah, this one you've seen, so I won't get in trouble for this one. But just how much fun are the covers coming out for these books? I mean, Cretaceous has become something that I think we're all excited to work on, and same thing with Where They Dwell. I mean, they're just books that we're all excited to work on. And, Bladen has stated that the artwork for Cretaceous reminds him very closely of Magnola. And that is a mind-blowing comment. Like, just how cool to even, I've only seen a couple of the pages. I haven't even seen them colored. And I'm very, very excited. And I know you guys are really, really going to enjoy them. I'm going to go ahead and empty out April's jar so she doesn't get in any more trouble this evening and want to beat me up.
Well, the threshold for that kind of like simmered down.
Ruh-roh.
What?
Anyway.
I was all like, what'd you do? Who'd you tell somebody something another without telling me? That was days ago, though.
I always get in trouble because I try to share with you guys things when I get excited because they're fun. You know what I mean? I always try to give you guys more than I should. What do they call that? The giving away the cow and the milk or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? It's like, but I
don't give away the. Let's see. It's like, why give away the milk for free when you can have the cow or something? I don't know.
Yeah. You know what I mean? What? Something to do with the cow and the milk and the dairy.
Cow and bird in hand, bush cow milk.
Yeah.
Oh man, you got a burning bush? Wow.
I don't know if that's a redhead.
That's why I need the milk from the cow.
Go back to calling it the rot.
Oh no. Oh no, that's
would that
gnarly.
be Cajun rot?
No, not Cajun rot.
Spicy rot. And we're off the rails.
Spicy rot, y'all. Speaking of spicy rot, look at this cover. Like what? How awesome!
First, I've seen it colored.
Yeah.
Well, that's not even the final cover. Like,
so
I know
cool.
Rubian was going to beat me up earlier because I shared it on Facebook, and he was like, "That's not the right one. Wait till the right one." And I was like, "Okay," but it's
we're not waiting.
Cool. Yeah, I have just like art makes people happy. You know what I mean? And stories make people happy, and it's like one of those things where, the world sucks enough. So if I can bring you the slightest bit of joy in your day, even if it's just something cool, you know what I mean? Or it's some beautiful artistic masterpiece, I just always want to, I don't know. I want to help you have the best day you can have. Because I know what kind of joy that brings me, you know what I mean? When it comes across my desk, I'm like, man, that's really, really cool. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I just have a good time with it. And I think that the artists are happy. I'll tell you what, I had an artist tell me the other day. He was like, happier artists present better artwork. And I was like, I don't doubt that. That's like the chicken. You feed the chicken the right food, it's going to taste better. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And he was literally like, exactly. Mm-hmm. So, but it's, we try to make sure everybody's happy and taken care of on the team so we can constantly show you guys beautiful pieces. And, like if your work week sucks, maybe you saw something really cool or you got excited because your favorite book from Ethereal's got a new issue coming out or whatever the fuck, whatever we can do to, help make that time period better, it's important that we do.
The
And
little
I
sneak
enjoy it.
peeks that they send always brighten my days. So I love that.
Yeah, dude. Well, you help me out a lot. When you're like, I like this or I like this, I'm like, all right, we'll run with this. We'll run with this. We'll do this. Or, you know what I mean? I value your opinion, just like Thomas. I really value Thomas's opinion. So when we send you guys scripts to read, it's like, oh well, let's go. That's the target audience. Let's see what they like, and if they like this, they'll like it. If they don't, whatever. That's just like the thing with, I know some of you guys and gals prefer the safe covers. Okay, you prefer the normal covers and whatnot. That's why we always make sure, for the most part, unless our artists are like down to show you Vagina Town, you know what I mean? That's we, are make sure you guys get plenty of safe covers. Like cover A will always be a safe cover, because we like our books in shops. We like them on racks.
I like the naughtier cover. I mean, I appreciate it because I think they're pretty and everything else. But I think if I'm spending my money to add to my collection, it's just my preference is the safer covers. Right. I think just because I love the detail of them as well.
Absolutely.
So, that. So
everybody has a particular thing, right? So that's one of the reasons that we've always made sure that we had plenty of covers for people to choose from. It wasn't to, make you like boggle minds. It's always been to give you the choice for your collection, what you prefer. Yes. That's why the prices on the books are never different.
Yep. And I love it too because every now and then I see one, I'm like, oh, I have to have that.
Right. I feel like that too. Don't feel bad. Like every now and then, like we just got that headwind cover in, and I was like, oh. Yeah,
a little drool.
Yeah, like I about fell out. Like we're talking about something funny because you guys have no clue what I'm talking about, and it's funny to me, so I can talk about it. So this cover comes in, and every now and then, due to artist demand and also, feedback, we've thrown in these, the 3 different versions of the cover. Instead of like we normally do 2, we started to throw 3 in there every blue moon now. And so this cover comes in, and I had like this idea for this character to be wearing white panties with little red devils with pitchforks on them, right? And it'd have been cute and it'd have been adorable. But when we got the art in, the art was so sensual that I feel like that had been really silly on how beautiful the artwork was. Like it was, because it was supposed to be a mocking thing. It really was. It was supposed to be a mocking like gesture. No, it's not Dino Smut, Jake. It's not
Give
Dino
it time.
Smut.
Give it time.
It's Demon Smut. Stop it. It's Demon
what?
Smut. No, I was talking to Jake, not you. It's Demon Smut.
Well, I give it time though.
Give it time. Give it time.
That might be issue 5. We're just not there yet.
That's right.
But we're getting there.
Hey, Easter Bunny Smut. Oh my gosh. So
I like where this is going.
Easter Bunny Smut around here.
We like the way Jake thinks.
He's great. We love Jake. He's a good human being. But anyway, so we're putting this cover together, and we get it in, and she's got, instead of the white with the little, funny looking demons with a pitchfork, it's like black satin panties and bra on this character.
Okay.
And I remember going, that's just gorgeous. We can just hit my fucking idea right out the window, because it's such a tier of, it's a beautiful cover. Like, it's absolutely beautiful. And it was one of those things where I was just like gobsmacked. Like, it takes a lot for me because I see so much art anymore. Yeah, exactly. I see so much art anymore that it doesn't hit like it used to. You know what I mean? Now it's got to be something really really there to get me to go, oh shit, that's it. You know what I mean?
I think is that the one you sent Tom and I to look at, or
Yeah,
is that
I
a different
sent that
one?
to you and
Okay,
Tom
I was going to
before.
say, because as you're talking, I'm going, I know that picture.
Yeah.
I remember, I just got that picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, like I said, you and Tom, you guys get to see all of it because you're the target audience.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things where I was just blown away, you know. And we got another one. Oh my gosh, Sugar Spit's cover for Cretaceous came in the other day, and that one,
that's bananas.
oh my gosh. And everybody I've talked to about, you know, having one of those is all like, oh, it's going to be more expensive. You know, we don't know if we're going to be. No, it's not. It's not going to be more expensive. It's going to be $19.99. So it's going to cost. Don't worry about it. You know, it's
careful.
fine.
We have HR on the line.
Oh, unless we do a foil or I do something fancy with it. Shh.
Yeah.
Don't get me in trouble, y'all.
That's right.
So not when Dustin's, when Dustin does smut come in, that's what the fans want. The fans enjoy the smut. I'll give you that. They enjoy my smut talk, but they also enjoy beautiful artwork and they enjoy, you know, well designed characters. Look, man, I'll be honest with you. After reading comics, I know you've been reading comics a long time, Jake. After reading comics my whole life, you know, I posted something on Facebook, I think it was yesterday, about the fact that no one asked for another invasion from Marvel. No one asked for one. And we're literally rehashing. Yeah, I'm going to do that one, Jake. I'm going to do it in my underwear, foil cover. I'm about that life.
And it's going to be just for Jake.
That's it. One of one, Jake exclusive.
Exactly. You can hold up a little sign, say "Love you, Jake."
Yeah. No, I'm gonna be eating cereal. In my
there we go.
No, but it's one of those things where people want different. People are very tired of the same story rehashed a million different times. They want different. If you give them the same story, be different. Be 98% different. You know? Yeah. Elephant underwear, what's in the trunk? I got you, big boy. Don't worry about it. So
now who's going off the rails?
That's it. But no, there's so much that storytelling can do. And, you know, we joke all the time about all the amount of money that Marvel and DC pull and everything else. But the artwork doesn't compare to what we're putting out. And that's not a joke. That's no bullshit. I mean, you can check that. There's facts. You know what I mean? Then you can talk about the storylines. You can talk about anything like that. And it's just like, cool, look, if we want to set a bar, let's set a bar. We're always going to set the bar, you know? Oh, man, thanks, Jake. We appreciate it, man. Hey, have a good evening, huh? It's one of those things where we put it all on the line. Every single book we put out. And I think I lost a lot of respect for Marvel and DC over the past few years. And that's okay, you know, but what's not okay is taking people's money for subpar work. I don't give a shit who you are. You know what I mean? You have no right to take people's hard-earned money or their time for work that is beneath you. You know what I mean? It's not okay. So we're going to continue to give it whole ass all the time. And I'm happy with that. I'm super happy. I'm seriously thinking about doing a sticker like in like some boxers, like looking back, you know, talking about whole ass. I'm for real. I'm thinking about it. I think
we don't half ass, we whole ass.
Yeah.
That'll be a new bumper sticker, the new ethereal bumper stickers.
Absolutely.
Look,
how about
I am like 3 days ahead of you guys. Whatever.
I know. But yeah, we can do is try to keep up with you, April.
It's gonna magically show up and you're like, look what we inspired. I'm like, nope. It's already something I
did
was
that.
working on.
Well, that just happened to you with a cover as well. So
you know what? I was over it until you said something.
Oh, no. Dustin opened the wound.
You know what?
So this cover, Devin sends in this cover idea, and April was like, I thought of it first. It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. I sent it to you. You actually got to see it. It's the one where the siren is licking that piece of dynamite. Yeah. Pretty good one. It was a pretty good one.
Because I'm sorry, but it's not that I remember. It's that you've been sending me some really awesome pieces. So it's
yeah, for sure. No,
wait, which one was that?
No. So, speaking of fun things,
okay,
Bladen
gotcha.
just met a couple of our colors, the Kemps, in person.
Oh, that's cool.
At the show he's at. So that's very, very cool. I love that. It's really neat to me when folks that are on the team that have never met each other physically, but you talk to each other every day. Like you literally talk to each other every day, and then you meet.
He has a chance to make that in-person connection.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, when it comes to April and Bladen, they have a lot to do with the artwork that comes out. So they actually, they're like, hey, can we edit this? Hey, can we do that? And to meet people in person, it's one of those things where, you can put a name to the face. Hey, look, I work with you every day, or I work with you every other day. It's nice to meet you in person and have a conversation. And I'm happy that he's getting to do that right now. Like I said, if you guys are in that area, there's a ton of ethereal in Denver, apparently.
So cool. Taking over the world. One con at a time.
Taking over the world, just like Cherry in that shake weight.
I know.
The dog's bone has gotten stuck under the cabinet, and he is just desperate to get it, and he just can't. You know what? Might as well have 2 arms tied behind his back. He just doesn't have a chance.
No. He has a lot better chance now that he doesn't have as much hair on him.
This little rawhide bone is as big as he is. He can barely get his tongue around it.
Oh man.
That poor baby.
What a problem to have.
I know, right? You just see nothing but toe beans. It's so cute.
Oh my goodness.
The toe beans.
Sticking out from underneath.
Like little teddy bear paws. He's so cute. Oh my god, you're just so cute. Makes my heart warm.
He's pathetic in such an adorable way.
You know what? That is so true. But I tell that to my children too. It's so cute to watch you struggle. They're like, Mom. I'm like, yes. Let the hate flow through.
Struggling through adversity builds character.
Yes.
Oh, for sure. Well, I mean, you look at.
At least that's what they raised me. So.
Right. Well, that's just like your lives in general, right? It's when you talk about, again, you can attribute that to just about anything in life. If it's worth doing, it's going to be difficult, or, if it's, amazing, it wasn't easy. There are these things like right now, no one's coming out and doing those cherry cards like April, like a day in. No one's doing that. No one's coloring those like that. If they've never done art or spent the time doing it, they're not coming out and knocking out bangers. It takes time. It takes experience. It takes falling down. It takes scraped knees. It takes the whole nine, Like, I think it's funny, like, going into talking about experiences and stuff. Like, if you look at Ethereal now versus the first issue of The Listener, oh my gosh, it's wildly different, or the first issue Agreed. I mean, April knows she was there, it's very, very different experiences, and as creators, it's mind boggling to see the differences. Like if you were like, I know April knows, like if you were to take a piece of art from when she first started versus what she does now, night and day, I'm sure.
Yep.
I mean, there's, same thing with color. You don't just walk in and be like, I've got this. That's just,
you're a master of your trade by the thousands of hours you invest. It is not an overnight sensation.
Exactly. She does cool ass shit with like fucking sprinkles and shit she puts into the colors. You're like, how'd you get that? Oh, I threw some goddamn Doritos I chopped up and put in there, and you're like, what the fuck? That's amazing.
Right. You know? Well, I've only done that once.
Oh gosh.
I'm kidding.
But it you know, she does cool stuff like that. And you know, you'll see, like I was talking to Bladen about lettering the other day, and you know, because neither of us do the lettering, but it's, you know, you have these old ass tools that people would letter with by hand. Mm-hmm. And it's like so crazy. Can you imagine trying to letter like perfectly, like
I have tried.
Hand? No, I don't want anything to do with that ever. That shit's ridiculous.
It is, because I am a terrible speller.
Well, that's not really the hard part, I don't think. I think the hard part is trying to keep it straight and shit. But they have this little plastic tool that people used to use for lettering, and it's just the coolest thing, man. It really is. Mm-hmm. But, you know, that's another thing that takes a skill set in itself. You know, figure out where you're putting letters, the size of the letters, the whole nine. You know, it's an amazing thing to watch when you start putting books together and seeing where they're going. And when they start coming to life, you know, man, you know, to me, it really starts coming to life when you start putting your pencil. You know, when pencils start going down on the paper, I start feeling like the project's coming to life. Like I can write all the time, but until I actually see pencil to paper, it becomes very different. I like that one. Her face is great.
Yep.
Aw.
Got that Baywatch vibe.
Yes, indeed.
You know, I wonder, was it true that Pam Anderson was running on the beach and her boob popped like out of socket, like in that weird?
What do you mean out of socket?
Not out of socket, the implant, the implant.
Out of pocket. Oh yeah. I don't know about Pam Anderson, but I know two female individuals who had their implants pop out of the like pocket that it was supposed to be in. Yeah. They've had to like have it adjusted or augmented in order to like, it's not. Yeah,
I read a thing about her running on the beach, and it just was like,
you were just thinking about her running on the beach. Period.
That's true. I'm not going to deny that.
Whether it's the implant out of pocket or the boob out of the bathing suit, either way.
Yeah, same difference to me. Right.
Wardrobe malfunctions are always interesting.
We need to have more of those in ethereal books.
What? Wardrobe malfunctions.
Well, if they're not even wearing a wardrobe, that is pretty much our sales point.
Yeah, hey, I'm okay with that.
You know what?
Yeah, you can have a strategically placed plant malfunction or something. I don't know.
I think one of the funniest things that I ever came across when I was actually reading the books was like the Gen 13 when Fairchild was like, I don't know why this is always happening to me, and her clothes are all torn, and she's just like, oh.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like, so let's get into a more serious but funny topic on this route. So, I had a dude come to me, and it was probably the same time that it happened to Ryan, and it happened to a few other people, accosted me about the content of our books, right? And it amused the fuck out of me. Sorry, buddy. Whatever. It doesn't bother me. You're entitled to your opinion. I hope you have a great day. You know what I mean? But
just preferably do it somewhere else.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. But it's like one of those things where you look at characters like Supergirl, right? You look at Supergirl, then you look at Power Girl. Okay. You look at Power Girl, who we're not going to throw names out there. Okay. We're not going to throw no names out there because this is earlier than a lot of younger readers' time. So
right.
This individual literally made it his mission to try to increase her bust size every book he put out with the character.
Until they asked him to stop.
Until it
became so noticeable, they're like, no, dude, get.
Well, he did it because they had insulted him about it to begin with. So he didn't want to do it in the beginning.
Right.
And there was hey, theirs aren't big enough, so I guess.
So it became malicious compliance.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I like that. Malicious compliance.
I dig it. That's fancy.
In camo.
And April brings
malicious compliance. Creole.
You know who our art director was talking to today? Jai Lee.
Oh, really?
Did he get my inquiry, my request?
I don't know.
He should check his inbox.
All I know was he inquired to Bladen where the restroom was.
Tell him to check his inbox.
He might find it in his inbox. That's amazing.
Well, if you're helpful that way, then that means maybe he'll remember.
Man, oh man. So before I forget, I want to make sure that we, I'll write that down. Make sure that we get Mr. Tipton. He said he's going to be available again in August.
Oh.
So that's his next first availability.
So we're thinking Halloween crossover?
Yeah, because apparently we're going to have some spots open for that.
Yeah.
I like making you laugh
behind that I don't want to know about.
Making you laugh has always been a pleasure when it's not at me. So
yeah.
Well, it's kind of like all of those fine folks that kept bothering me. I was at Starbucks for 2 hours. I had my headphones on. I was grinding out to like heavy metal. The only difference in the last 3 weeks is that I brought my colored pencils with me. And I had 4 people that interrupted me to be like, oh, I really like your color pencil setup. That's awesome. I feel like, really right now? That's okay.
Do I come and throw rocks at you while you're mowing?
Yeah, no, I just 4 times.
Well, thank you for enjoying my artwork. We appreciate it.
I was like, yeah, that's great. Like, what are you working on? I'm coloring boobs right now. Please step your way from my table.
Where's my company taser at?
Right?
I need an adult. Someone is in my circle.
Yeah. It was like, for real. Like, your children really shouldn't be around you right now, and make it like a weird request. No.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, I just, I was really struggling that day to like stay awake. Like, it was just too many late nights and, waking up early to take the kids to art camp.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I finally got into the zone 15 minutes ago. Thanks, man.
Well, so we could probably get him and Hedwin in on taking up some of those spots.
What?
For the Halloween crossover book?
Hedwin?
Isn't that who you said was free?
No, you said Tipton. August. Yes.
But
also, Jake Thomas said that we were gonna not have him on Cretaceous, but that's another thing we add to my.
I didn't know anything about that.
Well, it happened today. I hadn't had a chance to tell you.
Right on. Love it.
Halloween crossover.
Love it. Love it. Love it. It's not about how you receive news. It's about how you handle news.
That is about what? Part of it.
How you handle it. Not how you receive it, but how you handle it.
I
have days where I handle news better than other days.
Me too. Don't feel bad. Trust me.
And I don't know. I sometimes how it's received can affect it. Because I've received some news, man. I'm like, you could have stated that better. I didn't.
Yeah. You could have said it a little bit differently.
You have told me that more than once.
I try to.
I wasn't but
I try to keep HR out of trouble.
Oh man, I get myself
Because
into
HR
all
can
kinds
also
of
help you get
jams.
staying out of trouble sometimes.
Yes, that's fair. That's fair. Well, you know what? It's you know, one of those things where, you know, we are uh gainfully employed. Okay, so like if we go, oh well, Bob can't do a cover. Well, love Bob, but there's 30 other people in the wings that are ready to, you know, take that spot. So,
Yeah.
you know, and we love all those folks. Just give us time. If you're not going to be able to hang out, let us know. You know what I mean? A little while in advance, and we can not 3 weeks before. That's kind of, but whatever.
Like you said, communication
That's
is
it.
really important. It's just whether you're timing of when you can work. If you are having a problem with your timing of work, getting things in, talk to me about it. You know, let them know.
That's it, man.
That's a
You
long
know,
way
the
in most
world.
businesses.
We live in a situation in comics right now in this industry, and it's so funny because it's hard for people to separate from the I. The I is everything, and it's so hard for people to separate from that. And I'm not pointing fingers at individuals. I'm just stating a fact from someone that pays attention to this.
I have a problem with that sometimes. I'm human. I have a problem with
That's
it.
it. You know, but so many folks have come in and have never worked in a professional environment, so they have the mentality where they've never had anybody that's actually with their had their back, you know what I mean? So they're constantly considering themselves the one and only, and they have to defend themselves. You don't have to do that. You have to find yourself a team. You have to, you know, work together, because if you don't, you're always going to feel that way. It's always going to be the I have to survive, I have to handle this. It's not we have to handle it, or we have to figure out a way to do it. Like, I'll call April or Blade any time of the day and be like, hey, look, we got to figure this out. Once we figure this out, the next thing goes forward. You know what I mean? It's a very interesting thing because you're not always going to be on the same page all the time, but you have to be able to work with people to come together to an agreement. You know, you have to be able to work with each other and figure out what's best for the whole. Again, removing I from the equation is very difficult. I'm not saying it's an easy thing, but it is something that you have to work on if you want to succeed.
And it takes time though too, because like you said, some of them never have been in an environment. They've never worked on a team before to understand that they now have a support system. So it takes time to build that trust that it's no longer an I situation and it's a we situation.
There's been a few times when I've asked you to remember to put I back into the situation. Like, yes, this would sell, but what is it that you're wanting to say with this particular cover? Is it something that you're asking for? I don't want you to have buyer's remorse.
You're right. No, that's a little bit different than what I'm referring to, though. You
True.
know what I mean? Like,
but you are so in tune with making sure that our family is happy that I also want you to also be happy too.
I appreciate that. And that's something that's very powerful.
I second that 100%.
You know, all of our management team is very much really gives a shit about each other. And I think that that's something that is lacking in the industry. You know what I mean? It's like, again, when you have 50 million pop-up publishers, right? 50 million pop-up publishers. Half these folks don't even own companies. They're just like, oh, I'm going to put comic books out and whatever. That's cool. You know what I mean? That's the old school. That is true indie to indie to indie. You know what I mean? You have no company, you have no backing, you have nothing, but you want to put out a book because you're passionate. That's indie as fuck, and I support the shit out of it. You know what I mean? But when people start going, I want to work for a company, or you want to start putting people's lives in your hand, what's going on, Eastland? When you want to put, you know, people's actual lives in your hand and the system you have going on, you have to change things up a little bit. You know what I mean? You have to realize that, you know, paying people on time, putting out, you know, real information to folks, being there when they have questions or they want to work or they want to do things they need, that you are the one that has to, provide these things. That's difficult for some people. With the I means you're worried about you. You're not worried about that individual. You just want to pay them, or some people don't. You know what I mean? You just want to, catch that free ticket, and it's horseshit. You know what I mean? That's very different than a route to success. Um, and we deal with that every day. We deal with the folks that come in and they're like, I got shafted, or I got treated like this, or I got treated like that. So people come in gun shy, and it's very sad. It's like, when you've got that dog that's been beat that lives down the street and you just want to love it, but it's like, oh, don't touch me
every time you come near it.
Yeah. Like, you're like, I just want to love you, bro. Just come here and let me love you, motherfucker. Like,
said just like that.
Exactly. That's what my Christmas cards are going to say to all y'all this year. Let me love you.
Let me just love on you.
So no,
I will take that.
Right.
And I'm gonna be there like that meme behind the tree, just like,
right,
because I'm, HR.
Right. But it's just one of those things where, we'll get the artists in and they're like, hey, look, this happened or that happened, and so I'm a little skittish about this, or I'm a little skittish about that. And it's one of those things where you have to build a rapport with people. If you want to work with people, you have to build a rapport. We have artists that won't even work with indie talent. They won't work with indie publishers. They won't work with people that don't own an actual company. And I respect it. You know what I mean? So when they come to us, they were referred to us, or, they happen to know somebody on the team that's like, hey, look, I want to get my buddy on, or whatever. We do that too. You know what I mean? We bring on family members. We bring on all kinds of people, but they have to be, what's up? I put on I don't often, and we as a team, I mean, I shouldn't say we don't often put out like job postings ever. And I know April was talking about looking for a sticker artist. I'm pretty sure she got blown up.
I was going to say, I would love to see what one of those advertising job adverts looks like.
That's exactly right.
It was a little all over the place. It was a little crazy, but we did find a couple of people that had some serious potential. And then some that were like uber professional, and we're like, ooh, well, so we're still kind of combing through what we want to actually do with these wonderful gems. But yeah, it was more than I expected, and a little different. I don't know, it's just a little different. So.
For sure. Well, like, I'll throw one. I did it the day after she did. Like, I put out not that I put a job posting up, but I was like, hey, look, in the next couple of months, we'll be looking for a distribution manager for Ethereal. And because I have less and less time. Like, that is the bottom line. There's less and less time for me to do it. And I had a buddy, love the guy, great dude. He reached out and he was like, what are the job requirements? And I'm like, knowledge of the industry, contacts in the industry, experience. And he was like, no, I don't have any of that. I appreciate
well, honesty is good.
Thanks you for your honesty. And I appreciate you as an individual. But it was just really funny because you get like we had a dude from Aftershock apply last year. And like, as well as Ethereal is going, you guys have to remember, we're barely sliding to like 2 years old. Like, barely sliding into 2 as a company.
You're still babies.
We're still babies. And we're super babies, but we're still babies. And we're still learning every day, and we're very grateful for that. And but he was like, hey man, I'm looking for like $175,000 a year. And
I thought he was
I
like
was
60.
like, man, look, I'm not even making 175 a year. Nowhere near it right now. So
You're like,
I don't know.
yeah,
But
good luck with
this
that.
was the marketing manager for Aftershock.
Yeah.
And me being me and the big old ass hat that I am at times, I'm like, why would I want the guy that got laid off and the company closed down from the marketing department to run my marketing? I'm just not just putting that out there. I'm not trying to be mean or nothing. I'm just
No.
putting that out there.
But you do have to think of it in a business type sense and be business
That's it.
smart about your decisions. So, and
That's
I want to say
exactly
April
right.
is probably my favorite of the ones I've seen you do so far.
Yeah, April's super fun. April, I wouldn't know what to do without April. April keeps me sane. April keeps my panic
Which is
attacks
saying
down.
something.
She does a lot more than anybody knows.
She is, yeah.
Absolutely, she
She's a
is
rock.
the
She's a
queen
giggly
bee
rock
around
sometimes,
here.
but she's a rock.
Well, I have my own, like, penalty jar that
She does
he said
have her
it
own
rides
jar.
at like 60% full.
Yeah, I emptied it earlier because it was bad. So
Oh, sorry.
it was bad. But no, you got and then like I said, you guys, like when you come to Ethereal though, you have a full retinue of people that are at your back. You've got project managers, you've got fucking art directors, you've got experience out the wazoo. If you look around Ethereal, we were just talking about the Kemps. Great guys, been in comics forever. And they're happy to help any members of the team. You got Devin Massey, Mitch Massey, both those guys been in comics a long time. I'm grateful because there are times when even I have questions that I have to find the answer to, and I would much rather ask our team members than ask somebody else. Oh my goodness, how many cards you got left?
1 million. It'll never be done.
Oh my gosh. Never due today.
Yeah. No, I've got like 4 or 5 more to like draw in ink and like another 15 to do this too.
Right on, that's not too bad.
No, it's gonna go quick. I will have it done today.
That's because you're a beast.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I am.
Oh gosh.
It's that
dog
big
when you go after
G.
him.
What?
That's what that little dog thinks when you go after him.
That poor baby.
The beast is after me.
No, he's like, don't make me go out there. Don't make me go outside. Oh, what? You're gonna let me on the grass? Well, yeah, because it's hot right now. But outside of that, no.
Right. You shall not grass.
Well, look, he had so much hair, and I'm like, fleas, ticks, worms, blah blah blah. I don't know.
Right, I'm with you.
The last baby I had was a Great Dane. Like, this is different. He's
For
little.
Sure. You got a rodent, and it's
do.
Okay.
Like, there's possums.
Fluffy rodent.
Ironically
Dude,
enough.
I have prairie dogs that are bigger than that dog.
I know. Poor baby. But yeah, on our nightly walks, there's a bird, like a bayou style bird that is like 2 feet tall or something, comes up to my knee.
He waits for the dog. He's like, ha 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 ha.
He's chill, he just kind of hangs out. He doesn't want us to get too close, but we've gotten up to like 10 feet from him. We're like, oh, hello. I don't know. And then there's a possum that is also, definitely an adult, and we'll just kind of saunter across, and I was like, oh, look at that, and I just instantly thought of Devin. And I know, so funny.
No, it's awful. Oh my god.
The thing literally is like poor Angelus's size or bigger, and I'm just like, man, you know what? I love you, dog, but if that thing totally chases at us, sure, I can take a couple of fast steps, but man, I'm gonna trip you and run.
Did you see that old man? And that video has been around for ages, where the old man jumps into the pool, the little pond to save his dog from the little teeny gator. It's a little ass gator. Like it's a little ass gator, and he's like, he jumps in with that cigar in his mouth, still in his mouth when he gets out of the water. I was like, that's go, old dude, because I'm not letting my dog go. I got news for you. That's like a child.
I talk a lot of shit, but like that's my baby. It's so
that's
funny.
Right. Oh, I know it is.
Yeah, it's so funny. He is just so little and like underfoot all the time, and I'm like, I get so angry at him, and then when something happens, I'm like, oh, you poor baby. Oh,
yeah.
Literally, just the worst.
Oh my goodness!
I know.
He's an adorable little thing.
He is the cute. He really is cute.
One scowling just completely goes by the wayside.
Yeah, right. That's how it is with my kids. So this
scowling goes by the wayside.
No.
So they get you sick.
Yeah, they get me sick, and they're a pain in my ass.
Yep.
Like I wouldn't trade my kids for nothing. I told Ozzy I was gonna send his ass to China to make me shoes the other day, and he was so upset. Like, I'm a horrible human being, but he was like, he was being a punk ass all day, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna send you to China so you can work in a sweatshop. He was
make
so
shoes.
I don't want to go to China. I don't even know where China is.
Well, you better behave yourself.
Yeah. Get your head out of your ass, punk. But no.
And you turn a corner and get punched in the cock.
That's what he does to me. Like, that's my life. Like, I probably couldn't reproduce again if I wanted to. I was going to say. Damn time. He's like speed bag and the dick bag. He's great.
It's a whole different type of contraceptive for you.
Oh my God. And the dog too. The damn dog has got like a heat-seeking cock paws. Like he'll come flying onto the couch and be like, there's the dick. Ba-ta!
So your son and the dog have the lower half, and the cat is shooting missiles at the upper half.
Oh God, yes, that's my life.
You just can't win.
There's no winning. I hide in my office or I hide in the theater, and they can't get me. And the cat can't get me in the theater because the dog will get her. Well, not really, but she thinks that the dog will get her, and he won't because he's a big ass baby. But she thinks he will, so she won't come anywhere near the theater. And my office has to close the door. So yeah. No, they won't get me. But I looked at that artist that you just sent me, April. The Rocio.
What?
Rocio? I don't know. Whatever one you just sent me. I think we've looked at this one before.
I
don't know that one. I think it's a good one.
I don't know.
That's the one that
that was like totally an hour ago.
Sorry.
You've got in my head.
She's moved on. Yeah.
I spaced till about an hour in between. So.
Oh well, I mean, I haven't even. That thing. Oh, that was the sticker person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it.
I didn't know if you had, but you sent it to me, and I'm sure you got it from Russ.
Yes. No. I got it from the artist themselves.
Oh, right on. Well, I see a lot of Russ's stuff on here. That's why I was.
I think Russ had referred them.
I would be about that individual doing more than just stickers. That's pretty good. It is
versatility is a good thing.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Hey, did you Shawty, did you check out the bear?
No, I have not yet. It's just end of fiscal's been killing me, so I haven't had much time for anything extra. Like I said, it is on my watch list. I added it to it.
Just finished.
So I might try and watch it this weekend.
And I'm so antsy for the third season. Like, I'm so ready.
I liked the second season.
It was fun for sure. Did you finish it?
I did.
Yeah.
I think that what's his name? Richie or Rich or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I think his transformation was just so good.
So good. Man, that last back and forth between him and Cameron was really tough. Like it was really tough. Like wow, holy shit. But yeah, no, good show. Good show.
I'm looking forward to getting into it.
Yeah, it's definitely some of the best writing I've seen for television in many
since
years.
Firefly.
You know, apparently there's a new one coming out, and I'm wondering if I should just wait till the new one.
No.
Okay. Did you hear about the new one?
No.
There's always been rumors about a new one, and I don't know.
They say, and then they don't, and then they do a movie, but it's not the same, and it's just
not the same. And then they talk about doing another one.
Why are you fighting it? Why are you fighting it?
Why am I fighting what?
I watched your show.
I'm trying. Time.
You had time to watch The Bear.
That's because I wanted to watch that.
That's different.
I want to watch this. You think I have the time, and yet I made the time because you.
I know you did. I appreciate the fact that you did. I will endeavor still. If I could find
the Bickersons have made an appearance.
Where did you say it was at that I could watch it? What is it on streaming that I can watch it on?
You have Google, clackety clack it with your mechanical typewriter thingy, keyboard, your mechanical pen.
Don't make fun of my mechanical keyboard.
I'm not making fun of it. I'm just saying that you've got let your fingers do the walking.
Where can I watch the Brown Coat show?
No. Firefly streaming service. That's all you gotta type.
Netflix
so hard.
Apparently has Firefly. So I will. That doesn't sound like the right thing. No, that's not right. That's Firefly Lane. I don't know what Firefly Lane is. Is that a sequel?
I don't know what Firefly Lane is either, and I want to know.
No, there's Serenity, the movie, and then there's Firefly,
the TV show.
Where can I watch it? Where is it streaming? Where is it streaming? On Hulu, apparently.
Cool.
Yes, I have the Hulu. I will endeavor to watch the Brown Coat show.
Look, there's so many nuances. You're gonna love it.
I believe it.
But keep in mind,
I'm not gonna love it because everybody says it ends after the first season, which makes it ass. Yes. So I'm gonna be very upset because I'm gonna be like, oh look, I invested myself in these characters, just like many indie creators. I'm gonna invest in your fucking book.
If you wanted to, you could always pick up the comic books because it's a comic book too.
Did it continue after the show, like Buffy?
Yes. Yeah, it continues on.
Right on. Well, I have the whole run of that in one of these boxes behind me somewhere.
So there you go. But yeah, one of the cool things is that if you listen to the director's cut or you do any interviews or something before you watch it, you keep in mind that it's the fall of the normal government, and it's as if communism and like the Chinese influence integrates with the American influence, and it blends out into outer space.
I'm gonna be real with you. The only thing I know about it is I'm a big Mouth fan, and Chick is wanting some Nathan Fillion like the whole show. So,
well, yeah,
that's the only thing I know about the show.
He gets naked in one of those episodes.
Captain Tight Pants, or even Captain No Pants.
I have some Captain No Pants covers coming out. So
do you now? All right then.
Oh, I have so many. Dude, look, if I wouldn't get in trouble for half the shit that is really going on behind ethereal doors, you guys would not believe the shit that we put our management team go through with everything we're trying to do. Like it's fucking.
I may not know, but I have suspicions, and I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean to tell you, there are certain things that would surprise just about everybody.
Okay.
If we were to let cats out of said bags, Like I'm working on the biggest contract ever right now.
Ooh, exciting.
There's so many cool things. Like I said, distribution manager thing coming up. There's so many cool things going on. We're in talks with a couple other distribution companies.
Honestly, I am so excited to hear about that and everything else. I know it seems silly because I love the art and I love the creative process, but fulfillment is such a hard thing. I can only imagine just from what I hear from you, from everybody else. So to get help with that and have somebody you can trust them to take care of that.
Well, that's not really what I'm looking for.
Okay,
what I'm
are you looking for
is the person to get us indoors that we don't have the contacts. Like we're in we're in several stores now. We've got some new exclusives coming out for different shops. We've got 3 exclusives in the works right now, and we're in numerous shops right now. So but the deal is I'm trying to find an individual that can put us in people's faces more.
So distribution more as in almost a more marketing as opposed to
absolutely like a marketing manager. You know what I mean? But I like there are numerous companies that you could go through that will quote unquote print and sell your books, whatever. But we can't do that with Ethereal. It's just not feasible. It's one of those things where I refuse to go to newspaper. I refuse. I refuse to go to cheap stock. You don't deserve that. You know, there's so many things that the fans don't deserve that they get from other companies, and I'm not going to sacrifice my beliefs just for raw numbers. I'm just not going to do it. And I think it's bad business practices all around, you know, because that stuff catches up to you. Being cheap catches up to you. People know when you're cheap. Like I got the greatest compliment the other day from a fan that's been buying from us since like the listener issue 2. And he was like, man, look, with all the printer stuff that you guys have been going through, you know, the product still comes out absolutely beautiful when we get it. And I was like,
that's an amazing compliment.
It really is. Cause I mean, if you don't think that shit bothers me, that it, you know, we had to go to a different printer, we had to do other things. It bothers me every day. Like every day it bothers me. But I can't be all woe is me. You know what I mean? I just have to move on. You know, like when we got a whole fucking freight delivery of books and somebody ran a goddamn forklift through it.
Literally.
I mean, literally.
That makes me laugh so much.
I could not figure out why she was laughing. I was in my driveway crying. Grown man crying in my driveway.
Because if you don't laugh, then you cry. And that's why I have such dark humor.
So April was laughing, but you still cried anyway. So, you know, it's just
yeah, I was in my driveway,
look,
bawling my eyes out looking at those books. Like
while I was laughing, I was already private messaging the owner of the store.
And she was so much nicer about it than me, I promise.
Oh yeah, no.
I was so upset. Like I was like, what the fuck is this bullshit?
I will absolutely laugh while picking anybody up off the floor.
She fixes the problem while she's laughing. I make the problem worse because I want to burn people's homes down. You know, like I was fucking so
probably
mad.
Not the appropriate response, but understandable.
Well, you know, it helps whenever I'm there with like matchsticks.
Like, yeah, well, it's like you have to understand. I'd already dealt with the fucked up book before. You know, so 2 books later, I have this massive issue. Thankfully, our printer now is like, we got you. We're gonna fix it right now. Like now.
Like you said, even though the stress, you didn't want to have to do it. This is why one of the reasons why you changed, because now you have somebody. So now, when it does go wrong, they say, "Okay, we're going to make it right for you."
That's it. You know, that's it. And so
that's huge.
It is huge. It is huge. So it's one of those things where you can be confident in things. You know what I mean? There's insurance. There's other things. So, like I was like, okay. Super thrilled that everything got taken care of, you know. or even like right now, when I'm waiting for something, I know that they're doing everything they can do to get me what I need in a good time frame. Like
I bet you that forklift driver did not have a very good day
I
after
bet he did.
somebody got hold of him.
I was ready to kill him. Like I was so mad because I was nice. Like I was like, "Hey, buddy, let me get you water. I know it's hot. Da 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 da." You know what I mean? And I look at the thing and I'm like, "Oh my god!" Excuse me. But no, it is so much fun. Fuck. Anyway, thank my children for that lovely cough.
Well, just one of them.
Yeah, well, it was just one, but she'll
time.
get upset with me and be like, both of us are bad children, not just one of us. And I'm like,
you're like, you're right for the next 48 hours.
Yes. Now leave me alone for like 72 hours. Yes. Keep all your nasty children from school germs and whatever else where you got them from yourself. Right. Ew.
Probably the sleepover while they were trying to interrogate you. Don't lie.
Well, that was today. I dropped them off today.
So you spread your germs. I love
so
it.
he was doing his own sharing. Yeah.
That's it. I was trying
PTO
to share
moms.
today. That's what they all get for interrogating me.
That's right.
And they'll be like, "Oh, I don't know why I feel a little under the weather. It's fine." And you'll be like, "Well, it should be way worse. I gave you man flu." And they'll be like,
Man flu.
I'll take some tea."
Where's Gus at? I keep hearing about man flu. Where is Gus?
Oh, you want to hear about his issue?
No, don't you mess up that man.
I didn't. It had nothing to do with me.
Oh my god.
Oh no. He had to go to St. Louis to basically shut down a storage unit. So rather than the office scheduling the delivery for all the shipping crates to package up all of this equipment on Monday, when he actually got there, it arrived yesterday at like 4 p.m. He's like, "Oh my god, I have been here for like 3 whole days. What are you doing?" Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah.
Who's paying for my room tonight?
Yeah. So then they it's not like he could just leave. He had to wait for them to come back now that the boxes were all packaged to pick them up. So he was like, "Oh my gosh, they got here at noon. I can still make my 7 p.m. flight. I'm out." So he should be walking through the door in about an hour and so excited to be home. Except for the fact that I didn't cook any dinner. So he's gonna be like, "Don't you love me?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, but I'm a terrible cook."
Oh my god. I do, but I forgot about you for a little bit. So
no, I didn't.
The cherry cards kind of distracted everything. So.
Right.
But I was watching a show that Dustin recommended about cooking because I care. And he'll be like, "Fuck that guy."
Yeah, put it on me.
My wife should have been cooking dinner.
It's a cooking show. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah, well, actually, he watched it already.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Well, I remember a couple of the scenes when I had looked up from my desk and went like, "What are you watching?" And he's like, "You won't. It's fine." I'm like, "Oh, well, whatever." I put my earbuds in, so I was like, "Oh, this is what you were watching like 2 weeks ago." Got it. Okay.
Yeah. They're trying to get me to watch something else, and I can't remember what it was. The Swarm.
Firefly.
The Swarm. I don't know.
You mean Firefly?
I don't know. Firefly, Swarm, they're all bugs.
That is true.
That is true. Yes.
Can't argue about that. Yeah.
I don't know what that shit's called. The Swarm television series.
I don't know if I'm not familiar with it, so.
It's brand new. It's this year.
Oh, okay.
Something about icky bugs, I guess.
Yeah, I'll pass.
I don't know if it's anything like what was that one show where
Oh,
they
that's
were
what this is about. That's what all this orcas attacking boats thing is about.
what?
It's about like the ocean attacking the land.
Taking revenge on the land.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, why do you watch that? That looks good as fuck. Oh, IMDb doesn't like it though at all. Ooh,
What?
Well, that doesn't mean anything.
5.7 out of 10 stars. I don't know. I found that. I wonder who actually writes these goddamn reviews. Because, like, I'll go to look at something and I'll be like, that says it's like a fucking super rotten tomato. And then I'll turn around and be like, that was a good ass show.
Yeah.
I watched Dior and I today.
I don't even know what that is.
You wouldn't.
It's like
I'm
Christian
uncultured.
Dior.
Yeah. Dior and I. It was talking about this Belgium designer who was hired by the house of Christian Dior, that the Dior
Oh,
couture house.
Yeah.
okay.
And
Juicy Cooter. I'm with you.
huh?
Juicy Cooter. I'm down. I got
Mm-hmm.
you.
Juicy Cooter, exactly.
You wash your mouth. That's Christian Dior. Whatever, it's fine. So anyway, it was talking about this gentleman's experience with working on his first line of high fashion with basically 8 weeks to launch, and
Wow.
dealing with trying to expose himself to the seamstresses who were developing the clothes, the models that were trying to showcase it, trying to put together the best experience to display it. Basically, you know, putting himself out there, but with only like an 8-week timeline, and just how nervous he was, and like everybody working with him to make this final product. Actually, the more I talk about it out loud, I really think that is right alongside the bear, but not as like dragging your knuckles and whatever else. Like
Right.
it's a
I'll check
little
it
it's
out.
a little more highbrow, but it's the
Yeah.
same type of company development.
I love that.
Yeah, it really was nice.
So Dior and I.
Dior and I, and I believe it's on Hulu.
I'm about that, man. Hulu's been putting
So
out bangers.
yeah, no, I like documentaries anyway,
Yeah.
and I like I don't do a whole lot of like high fashion stuff. I'm not like a
Right.
clothes whore or whatever, but I do like the fact that with fashion, it is wearable art, and you have
Yeah,
to
for
look
sure.
at
That's a
it
really good
from
point.
you have to look at it from an artistic perspective like that,
Huh?
and to see the development process from just, I don't know. I really think that they did a great job of following him around for several weeks while this was unfolding. Like they literally got in from the moment he introduced his name to the moment that he got excited and actually walked the catwalk with the models. Like he wasn't
Right
gonna
on.
do it. He's like, I'm gonna pass out, I'm gonna faint, I'm not gonna do it. And then he was so excited, and you could see like the tears just like in his eyes, and he just sucked it up and went right out there and like did it. And
That's
like
cool.
literally,
Yeah.
I was so proud of him, because I'm like,
Yeah,
man, you
yeah.
worked so hard, you did it. Yes, you should be out there.
Go get your
And
accolades.
yeah, yeah,
Right on.
exactly. So
I dig that.
yeah, I really, really, really liked it.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. And it won't get us a Twitch fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
Yep.
I like that. No Twitch fine is good.
I feel like you just want to be noticed. I want them to notice you, Dustin.
Not like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, but without the
bad
fines.
press. No bad press.
No.
I don't know about that.
Well, it's not so much no bad press, but there's expensive press.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
No. Or never. Not when every infraction is $25 now. No, ma'am.
Depends on who you're talking to.
Yeah, but if you give them the wrong banking info.
That's not how it works. You have to put your.
Then you're going to get another fine.
You're late on paying your fine. $25 more.
Exactly.
That reminds me, I probably need to go up to the public library.
Oh, Lord.
Well, I sent them a message, an email, letting them know.
Did you already have to? Did you have to you're already paying off a book that you?
No, it's the same book. I just need them to
God.
send me the invoice so I can pay it. And I thought
that poor thing. She went and bought a brand new copy of the books you give them.
Yeah, that was bullshit. I'm real angry about that. Shawnee, did you hear about this?
No.
Okay. So my daughter had rented a book, a Dogman book, which is all the rage. And we rented it right before school let out. Okay. And I knew that she took it to school, but I was like, did you bring it home? She's like, I'm pretty sure I did. I'm like, okay. And I don't know if you've ever had a conversation with an 8-year-old, but I don't trust anything that comes out of her mouth. Not that she's a liar, but sometimes the truth is not exactly as whole as I would like it. Yes. So the
brain is not always connected to the thought process. It's just, it's just,
I don't know. So I'm like, where is it? Well, I don't know. I'm like, did you let anybody borrow it? I'm like, yeah, but they gave it back. I'm like, oh God. Okay. So anyway,
are you sure?
We couldn't find it. I was like, okay, well, I checked I messaged the dance studio. I messaged the teacher. I'm like, hey, if you find this book, mind you, on the spine of it, it should have my name, and it's very obvious that it's a library book. Right. Let me know. We'll swing by and pick it up because, we were doing a lot of makeup classes and a lot of moving around that last week of school.
Right.
Anyway, nobody could find it. I'm like, well, that's just fucking great. So
Gremlins ate it.
Well, here's the thing. She had 2 books borrowed by 2 different students. She had the name on the inside of the hardbound book, and they did not return her book to her.
Oh.
Yeah. So Mouse, being the sweetheart that she is, and drives me crazy. Well, they promised they would bring it back, but they didn't. And I'm like, oh, baby. Sometimes, books are the hardest things to get back. I've had a few walk myself, and that's because I know better. I get it. And so
I don't tend to lend out books unless I don't expect to get them back.
Right.
If I don't worry about.
Oh, we've all done that, right?
We've exactly.
All.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I don't think it's here. It'll be fine. I'll just buy a replacement book and I'll donate it up to the library and it'll be fine. No big deal. So I bought the book and I took it up there and they're like, oh my God, what? And I'm like, well, we've lost a book. I know somebody is requested it because it won't do an automatic renewal for us. And so I want to, I know somebody's looking forward to reading this book. So here is a brand new hardbound copy that I purchased as a replacement and a sincere, I'm sorry for it being lost.
Yeah.
We can't accept that. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, no. Sorry, we have to buy it from a distributor or something. And we will not be able to accept your donation. And I'm just like, what? Oh, okay. But there's nothing wrong with it. Like the book spine has never even been cracked. And they're like, yeah, no. So they're like, we're gonna do an override. We'll give you like 3 more weeks to look for it. And I'm like, okay. So they did an override, and I turned over my fucking house. Nowhere to be found. I was like, well, fine.
Okay.
So they had warned me that it would be $35 to replace the book.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, that sounds real awesome, which is why I turned over my fucking house and I couldn't find it. So I sent them an email asking for an invoice, and they haven't responded. So I'm going to have to go up there and be like, yeah, let's do this with excitement and joy in my life.
Oh yes, you're just
That's
all
where,
excited about it.
yeah.
I have to. I'm not laughing. It's funny because when you started talking about it, and when you said you wouldn't purchase a book, my first thought was, "Oh no." I worked in a library, and during college, that was one of my part-time jobs. And yeah, and that's where I learned, to my surprise, that when books get lost and everything else like that, people say, "Well, I'll buy you a new copy." Nope, that's not the way it works. You either
Why?
extend it, or then I know, and I'm like, it was still, I never really understood the whole reason why, but yeah, the distribution, it's like it's just, yeah, the way the books have to be it was so, I'm like, that makes no sense.
Oh, okay. So it's not just me. Got
No,
it.
it's not.
Okay.
Even being on the inside, it still made no sense to me, and they're like, that's just policy. I'm like, oh, so that was my first introduction to true bureaucracy. Got it.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Some like healthcare stuff I can understand. There's enough medical liability shit that goes around that they got to cover their own tushy to make sure. I get it. It's scary out there, and nobody wants to do anything wrong. It's scary out there. And yeah, but a library book is not life or death, and I just can't understand that I just can't understand that if I am buying the book at $14.99, why the publisher charges $25 plus an extra $10 in order to do the barcodes and stuff to get it back into circulation. I understand the barcode stuff. That stuff's not cheap, and you got to do like the plastic covering to keep it,
I think that was their reasoning when they told me about it, because it's a whole process. If it's not just buying something off the shelf, it comes in, and then they have to go through, and they have to do the special covering to it and the barcodes and everything else. And I'm like, yeah, again, I guess it kind of made sense, but I'm going,
no. The $10 upcharge. $10 upcharge I can understand, but why the publisher charges $10 more than me just buying it from Barnes and Nobles, that I don't understand.
Because usually, well, a university library or even a city or a state library they think they have deep pockets. They don't, but it's a different budgeting system. So they upcharge. Yeah, you would think with the libraries that they would get a discount.
Right?
No one gets a discount in this market. What?
Exactly, especially not nowadays. So right now, waiting on an invoice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't wait to pay it. It'll be so fun.
And poor Mouse, and she's learned now. It's like you just can't. Sorry, honey, don't trust them. You have to, don't lend your books out.
Yeah, we can't take our library books out of the house.
Yep,
that's the new rule.
Man, I used to do. We lived in Virginia. We lived in the sticks, but at my grandmother's house, when we go to visit, they would have every couple weeks, so we would time it right. They had what's called the bookmobile, and it was the coolest thing. Like, it literally had a gutted bus.
Yep.
It had an actual mini library in it, like floor to ceiling bookshelves.
Yep.
Like, it was wood floors in the bus. It was just the coolest thing.
Super posh.
Yeah. It was so posh. It was so cool. It was Juicy Cooter for sure.
Good gross. Talking about library books and children, man. There's a line.
What are you talking about? The brand.
You just said Juicy Cooter. That's gross.
It's a brand.
What?
It's a play of Juicy Couture.
Oh, ew. Like, ew.
You were just talking about the brand earlier.
She missed that. I think it went whoosh.
Yeah, it did.
She didn't hear it.
Right on. I'm embarrassed. Heather and Eden numerous times when we went in that shop looking for purses for them. Yeah.
Yep.
Coat purses.
Yep. The only time, anytime I just can't understand wearing an item of clothing that has juicy on the butt. That's just.
Yeah. Spell juicy cooter. That's how it's spelled. It's not. They don't say it's juicy couture. It's no. It's always going to be juicy cooter because that shit doesn't make no sense to me. Anyway, no. They used to have. It was beautiful. They, and as a kid, I would grab all these fantasy novels and check out, and then 2 weeks later bring them all back. And oh my gosh, I loved the bookmobile. I loved the book. It was so much fun. Oh, so cool.
Yeah.
It
was really good too. I know certain programs they had the bookmobiles for people who were like housebound or didn't have the ability, so it was great. So the bookmobile would come to them, so they could come out and get a chance to expand the horizons, read some books. It was great.
Yes.
So, we love those sort of programs. They're amazing.
See, and I'm going to tell you a secret that not a lot of people know. So something fun, when we were going to put together a brick and mortar comic shop, we almost did a comic bus. Like we were going to drive to neighborhoods and stuff.
Oh, that would have been interesting, yeah.
It almost happened.
Yeah.
But the bus itself was so expensive.
Yeah.
Not to mention those wood floors. Not to mention those wood floors.
They definitely didn't have wood floors. They didn't have heated seats either.
Oh, well.
Man, you would not have
that's
survived.
an extra. That's an upgrade.
I wouldn't have made it. But no, stupid bus was like $115,000.
Yep.
Like because you had to have an AC in it because it was hot as all get out in Florida. So you had to have a decent AC that's gonna do the whole bus. And it was.
Yeah.
And then the little side window opening thingy was. It was expensive. The whole deal was because we were literally going to play it out like an ice cream truck, where it would open up and you could see the book that came out this week, like down on just a rollout pad of paper. Like it was really cool. We were going to laminate the new books every Tuesday or Wednesday, so we'd roll it out, and you'd have all the new books that dropped that week. And you could be like, I need to get an A4, or I need to get a 1.3, or whatever the fuck, an I3, and we were just gonna have.
Idea. Yeah. Unfortunately, money.
It was a fun concept, but the money was there. But in reality, it still would have been cheaper than a brick and mortar. It would have been
true.
Rather than a bus, it could have been an RV.
Yeah, my
you could have lived in it too. There you go.
My mortgage was like $2,900 a month on that store.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, you wouldn't have the overhead that you would pay for the mortar. It would have been
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
It would have been the outlay for the bus, getting it outfitted, and your stock, and then essentially gas.
Basically.
And maintenance occasionally. Yeah.
But
that initial outlay, ooh.
What's funny though? Everybody acts like that's like the most fun job or easy job. That was the most stressful fucking job. Owning a brick and mortar? Oh my god. It was the most stressful job I've ever had. Like it was.
It is hard work.
Oh my god, 80 hours a week and shit. Ugh.
It's hard work to have it run correctly.
Absolutely.
Well, and anything correctly is hard.
Yeah, right.
Is that what she said?
Oh my goodness. All right.
Yeah. The stress levels for a brick and mortar store are much more significant than most people realize.
Oh man, it was super, super tough. I mean, I was real grateful for, the experience and getting to do it, but it was dumb tough. Like and then prices fluctuate so much in comic books that it's just like,
it's a never-ending balancing act.
Oh my goodness, it was something. It was definitely something. But anyway, we've been at it here for about an hour and 45 minutes. My flu is ready to kick my ass. So I think I'm going to go take some medicine and hit the sack.
Can I just say that my middle girl is at 11,929?
Is it really? Oh, so good.
With 231 back rate right now.
I'm absolutely loving the responses people have from my metal girl. Or man, I'm really, really hyped.
There's a little plug in there.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the first episode of Fall Leaves, I think it did 26,000. I'm not saying this is going to hit that, but it'd be cool
22.
to see. Huh?
I thought it was 22.
So
26.
Very respectable in which way you look at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, it was way up there. The second one was
hit that, but it's doing really good for the time frame.
Absolutely.
Yep. So I'm
I'm super, super thrilled with how well it's doing.
Good.
Like over the moon about it. Man, oh man. But anyway, thank you all so much for hanging out with us tonight. It's always a pleasure. Don't forget, next week is New Book Friday, so we'll be showing some stuff off and going live with that next pre-order. So we'll talk to y'all shortly. Have a good evening. Okay. Thank you so much.